The FBI is now backing up the Department of Energy's assessment that COVID-19 leaked from a Wuhan lab.
The FBI has for quite some time now assessed that the origins of the pandemic are most likely a potential lab incident in Wuhan. I should add that our work related to this continues, and there are not a whole lot of details I can share that aren't classified.
Joining me right now is Florida Senator, Vice Chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, and member of Foreign Relations and Appropriations Committees, Marco Rubio. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. Your assessment of COVID-19 leaking from the lab, we assumed this 3 years ago, but it sounds like we're getting confirmation now.
Well, a couple things are interesting. The first is all the same people who tell us we have to listen to the FBI when they were talking about Russia interfering in our elections and helping Trump, when they raid a property, when they do anything that targets someone that is on the right of center. Those are the same people that are now saying, oh, no, don't pay attention to them when it comes to the Wuhan lab. Look, this is all going to be circumstantial. It's doubtful we'll ever have a smoking gun because, frankly, China's a closed society. They're not going to put that stuff out there. But all the circumstantial evidence, and there is a mountain of it, all point to some accident at that lab. My theory, based on the information that's out there, and I share the assessment of the FBI director, which has been their position for a long time, by the way, is they were messing around with viruses, trying to predict how that virus could become infectious in humans so they could come up with a vaccine. Someone messing around with it got infected. That lab has a long history of all kinds of problems. That person got infected. They went out, they infected more people. And there's a mountain of circumstantial evidence from people getting infected well before the date that China acknowledges to the way they handled it afterwards. And understand, in totalitarian regimes like in China's, if you're the director of the lab, you don't get promoted, you don't get a bonus, you don't get hailed as a hero if you make that phone call to Beijing and say, hey, we have a problem here. You get demoted, you get fired, you disappear. Yeah. So I think that's the leading theory and the one that I think has the most evidence behind it at this point.
So do we know if, in fact, they were trying to build a bioweapon?
Well, I think that is the one that I don't think we have any circumstantial evidence of. Okay. What I think all the arrows point to is they're messing around with this stuff. It's dangerous stuff. You're trying to predict this virus is only infectious in animals, but we are going to try to predict how it could become infectious in humans. We're going to make it infectious in humans so we can develop a vaccine, but the person doing it gets infected, and then they take it out into the world.
But, Senator, what are we doing about all of this? I mean, you have done so much in terms of the bills you've brought down to, limit investment in Chinese companies, certainly those companies that are tied to the military. But President Biden is scaling back a planned executive order that was supposed to regulate U.S. investments in China. You put out a statement criticizing what he's doing. You write this: the Chinese Communist Party is not looking to compete with America, but to overtake us by any means necessary. President Biden needs to wake up and do what is necessary to protect Americans. So, Senator, what should he be doing, and why do we have so many investors out there funding the expansion of communist China? I'm talking about, the Larry Finks of BlackRock and Ray Dalio, Bridgewater, who are doubling down on telling clients to invest in Chinese companies.
Well, because they can make a lot of money for their clients and then for themselves. And look, I think that points to what the real danger here is. The biggest danger we face is not China. The biggest danger we face is the decision made by politicians in this country to put the interests of the global market and global free trade ahead of the interests of the United States of America and the American people. That's the biggest danger. And that continues to this day. And that's why you see behavior like this on outbound investment. We're going to have more transparency. Well, these companies, these investment funds that you point to, which is, by the way, close to now, by some estimates, $2 trillion of American investment money invested in China, funding the development, for example, of military equipment designed to kill American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines. The biggest danger here is that they can make real money on that, and they don't care about the disclosure. They know that it's a risk they're willing to run, but the return on investment is so high, short-term profits, tremendous damage to our national interest.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand why Joe Biden doesn't want to do anything about it. He's spoken to Xi Jinping.
Because these people are powerful.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. These people are powerful. The interest of Wall Street, the interest of the investment class in this country that has investments in China is very powerful. They have real influence. I mean, all you have to do is look at the donation records from Wall Street, from the finance sector. It flows, even despite all the stuff out there that people may perceive, it leans heavily towards the Democratic Party. But they invest in both sides, and this is exactly why. They march up here, they say if you do this, it's going to hurt the economy, it's going to hurt the stock market, it's going to hurt economic performance in the short term, and it's going to reflect badly on you. Well, so I think they're trying to balance keeping these people happy with what's right for the country. You can't balance those two things. They're in direct conflict.
Well, I'll tell you, the CCP has been incredibly strategic, really smart to infiltrate our universities the way that they have, sending $90+ million to these universities who then send back intelligence back to the CCP. But I want to get your take once again on why this administration is not doing anything about it. And now governors are stepping up, getting to where you are in terms of this threat. I spoke with Governor Glenn Youngkin on Sunday, and here's what he said about telling the CCP you will not buy farmland in Virginia right now. Watch this.
Through my business experience, I've actually sat across the table from leaders of the Chinese Communist Party. I know exactly what they're doing. And they are using their economic coercion tactics in order to gain access to our supply chain. And that's exactly what they did to General Motors back in 2016 when they demanded General Motors dump Korean battery manufacturer, supplier in China and replace it with CATL, this Chinese manufacturer.
So a word about cattle, Senator, because Glenn Youngkin just told Ford Motor, you're not going to build your EV plant here because you use CATL technology, Chinese EV component company. Then we learned that Hunter Biden is a big investor in cattle. He's got his hands in all these Chinese investments. He's made so much money. Is that why Joe Biden doesn't want to get tough on the CCP?
Well, I mean, that's a question for the administration. I think there's reason to be suspicious about that, right? I mean, that link is hard to ignore. But the bigger challenge here is why are they interested in American farmland? Because it's consolidating, because it's expensive to be in farming these days because of all these rules and regulations. But why do they really want it? Because they understand that in a time of conflict, that in a time of crisis, that in a time of pandemic, what really matters, can you feed yourself? Can you fuel yourself with oil and gas? Can you make things? Those are the things that matter. Those are the things that are durable and resilient in an economy. And that's what China and Russia, by the way, dominate. The Russian economy is built on oil, gas, fertilizer, and grains. Okay? The Chinese economy is built on industrial capacity and the mines and farmland they own around the world. And what are we increasingly building our economy on? Services, movies, and, I guess, social media influencers. None of that's going to matter. That's in the day that there will be a conflict. And conflict is coming. I hate to say it, but there's an authoritarian bloc arising in the world of China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and the United States and the free world with an economy that's very vulnerable to coercion.
Do you think conflict is coming between the United States and China?
Well, conflict is here. The question is whether the conflict becomes military conflict or armed conflict. But conflict's already here. It's happening every day in embassies around the world. It's happening every day here at home. Conflict is already here. Our hope is to create a geopolitical balance that protects our rights and prevents a war. But, the history of human nature tells us these things sometimes get out of control. I hope I'm wrong about that.
What can you do about it? You're an elected official. Senator, would you be supportive of removing China's most favored nation status when it comes to trade?
Absolutely. They don't play by any of the rules. Understand this, that we allowed them to basically do anything they wanted. We opened up our markets and say Chinese companies can do whatever they want in America, but we allowed them to restrict us over there. And we did it under this theory that when they got rich, they'd become just like us. Well, they got rich, and they're not like us.
No.
And they don't share our values. They don't share our commitment to playing by the rules.
When do you expect China to go into Taiwan?
Before the end of this decade, we're going to have a situation there one way or the other. Xi doesn't leave office or die without doing something about it. This is such an important part of his legacy that I don't know how we finish this decade without him trying to do something there. And our hope is to raise the cost so high that he chooses not to do it by helping the Taiwanese, as many have already said, turn into a porcupine, something very painful to swallow and difficult to digest.
Yeah, well, I guess you've got to also talk to corporate America, right? They want to sell to a 1.4 billion person population.
Well, they really can't. Most of these companies are fighting over 4 or 5% share in their market over there, being 5th place, because the Chinese won't allow it. They want every industry to be dominated by a Chinese company now or in the future.
Yeah. Senator, it's great to see you. We'll be watching your important work. Thanks so much, sir.
Thanks.